Hello there, it's the hopefully one day soon to be famous Nick Dutch here at your service. Just want to do a quick little video about something called regimes of truth. Obviously I'm mainly doing my presentations and my videos for people involved in the supernatural, magical and religious communities. But the idea of regimes of truth is something you've really got to understand. A regime of truth is a statement or a concept or a belief which is given to you as if it was an out-and-out fact, which you then take on board as an out-and-out fact. The harsh realities of the universe is that a lot of the facts which you are given from the books you read, from the people that you meet, the people you talk to, will not be real facts. There will be something wrong with them, or they'll be too simplistic to be usable in any real context. So as such, they won't be true, as in completely true, alright? It could be a stretch of the truth. But when you're involved in a religious environment, or a pagan environment, or or even a Satanist environment. Obviously I'm doing my videos today for YouTube. There's a lot of Satanists out there. I've got nothing for or against any of you, because I'm not in the debate. I shun away from all religious argumentation. When you're involved in these groups, you will receive ideas either through moralizations or justifications or an explanation of this, that or the other, and it will be expressed to you in a way which is quite strong and quite passionate usually, and you'll be encouraged to accept this as true. I've got an issue with that. I know as humans we often suffer from self-doubt and self-criticism, which is actually a good thing. But when we go looking to another human being or another source of information for the answers, we can make a mistake at taking one regime of truth or one attitude and seeing that as the whole thing and not going into it any further. Now, the person you consult, the website you consult, the holy book you consult might have something wrong with it. They might have something wrong with their interpretation of facts. They may have something wrong with their own beliefs and their own politics and their own reasons to tell you these facts in this order. There may even be a more sinister purpose behind them. So you've got to be able to doubt all the regimes of truth given to you. When I was in school, I was told to trust my textbooks. So I did all my homework exercises, looked up the answers in the back, correlated, had a look at my answers and the book's answers, and saw there was a difference. The next day I took the book to my teacher and says, look, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Can you help? It turned out the mathematics in the book, in the answers in the back, were wrong, because the regime of truth of the book was incorrect. That shows you how good schooling is in the United Kingdom. And so, there are regimes of truth issues with university textbooks, university teachers, lecturers, scientists, the whole body of knowledge we call science, and especially even less structured ideas like those of religion and morality, and especially the New Age magic and politics. You've got to be able to disbelieve what you're given. I'm going to give you another example now. There was once a guy who I knew who had this attitude, which he knew to be a fact, that guilt appeared on the face of this planet after a certain religion appeared, historically speaking. Which is peculiar, because when you tell your dog off for going for a piss in your bed, he starts showing signs of guilt. And funnily enough, I don't think a dog actually understands English enough to be able to go to church. So guilt is actually a basic mammalian instinct that we humans need to be able to keep ourselves functioning properly in society. That's why we go into a shop, we buy a pack of cigarettes, we don't go in and take a knife to the throat of the shop owner and then steal the tobacco. Alright, we have guilt. We don't normally go out and kill and maim and torture just to get a pack of cigarettes. But the attitude of this one person who I knew was that guilt appeared on the face of the planet because one particular religion appeared at some point in history. I asked him where he got this idea from, and he says, I haven't done the research myself, but I spoke to somebody else who has. Incorrect. What he'd done was gone to someone who had very peculiar prejudices, very peculiar attitudes, and didn't know how to think, but just had a very upper-class accent, alright, and seemed to be quite eloquent. And this person I knew took some ideas from this other guy. He accepted someone else's regime of truth, and therefore has accepted ideological power and dominance over him from someone who had essentially problems of sorts. Now, regimes of truth occur in everything you see on television, everything you read in any book, be it fiction, be it fact, or whatever. You've got to be especially careful of fiction, because fiction is designed to manipulate your emotions, and your emotions can be a lot more powerful than your thoughts. Politicians as well, they're all going to use regimes of truth, and they're all there to manipulate your emotions as well. So you've got to be careful of anything a politician says, because they're going to... Okay, let's leave it at that, shall we? As far as the people in your religious groups are concerned, they're going to come out with definitions of what is morally right, the right attitude to take, the right interpretation of this, that, and the other. There is going to be all kinds of sermons of various different types. I mean, obviously, you've been on YouTube, you probably had a look at the other religious sites out there, and you will know there's a wide variety of strange ideas, often through groups coming out with a regime of truth which they feel will resonate well with the needs of another group out there to try and bring them in, so that the people who are brought in can then be controlled, conditioned, and turned into puppets for the ideology of the religious group. That's the way it works. And it's sick, and it's twisted, and it's fucked up, and it's all about people having power over people, and always for the wrong reasons. So I just want you to have a look at some of the regimes of truth that you've been absorbing over the years. I just want you to be careful. I just want you to be a thinking person. Whether you're a Wiccan, I don't care. Whether you're a Christian, I don't care. Whether you're a Satanist, I don't care. I'm not involved in the debate. I just want you to look with great care at every single thing that you read, every single thing that you hear, every single sermon that you're given, every single thing a politician says, alright? And even a lot of the videos on YouTube. Because they are opinions. They are regimes of truth. Okay, they've got flashy graphics, they've got the occasional quotes here and there. But they might have very high production values. But they're still presenting a regime of truth. And a regime of truth is essentially a distortion of truth, or a lie. So it takes a bit of time to work out which regimes of truth have some more truth than others, and then a bit further and a bit further and a bit further, and eventually you use basically scientific process, partially of elimination, partially of adjustment, to work out what is right and what is appropriate. That's called learning, and that's the way that you have to start living your life now. It's not a question of base it upon mythology, it's not a question of base it upon ideology or politics or faith, but base it upon understanding that you are being bombarded with lies. And you've got to learn how to filter through them and just get closer and closer and closer to that which is real. Alright? Wasn't it St. Peter who said, test everything, trust that which is true? You know. Give it a go. Well, I'll speak to you again soon.